totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valery Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. You come to me. Next time, ain't no judges going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
On Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that. I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he?
You fucking rat. Belts, indeed. Let us move on to Bellew of the week for episode 394. Ozzy's still with us, so is rapping Rob Kelly and Andy Patterson. Might be pointless reading out some of these, but let's get stuck into them anyway, shall we? First one nominated by Box Rec, Matchroom Boxing, for announcing the world title triple header. Katie Taylor against Miriam Gutierrez, Terry Harper against Kathy Sanders, and Ebony Bridges against Rachel Ball. Bellew of the week for that one. Hamad has nominated David at Camden Dave for saying world-class performance by Joshua Buatsi against Kalic. Bring on Beterbiev. Here's one coming in from Marcus Bellinger on BoxingScene.com. Eubank Jr. Canelo fight has to happen, Andy. So many fans are calling for it. Are you calling for it?
I have never seen one person call for this fight, by the way. You know, he fucking lost his pen anyway last time he was going to sign for the Golovkin fight, so... No, I mean, I heard him on the BBC actually with Bunsen Costello during the week there and stuff. It was a really good interview and that. But he said I think that's where that quotes came from actually, from that interview, that this fight's going to happen.
I saw one person calling for it. It was Chris Eubank Senior.
Yeah, there we go. The delusional one, or the Ninja Turtle. Chris Eubank Senior, I was listening. Eubank was saying as well. Listen, he's looking for fights at 160 or 168, but he was saying as well, as he's been training with Roy Jones, he's actually losing weight because of the heat and stuff like that. He's like, I'm weighing like 164 pounds just now, so he's not clearly a super middleweight. He's a middleweight fighter. Eh? Maybe he could make 154 if he wanted to.
Probably having to carry Roy around on his back. Maybe he can carry Roy on his back when he boxes Tyson. You know the way Roy can't get around the ring as well these days. I
wonder if Roy's actually going to use him teach him how to use his jab properly in that as well. You know, because he's actually got him, moving and to rap music and stuff like that, and jabbing to rap music and all that sort of stuff and that. So I don't know how that it works for Roy, but Roy's Roy at the end of the day. You know, he's
making him fight chickens out in the backyard and everything as well. Getting the mentality right.
I remember talking to Bryn actually, about Roy's house in Pensacola, and that he says it's massive. He says it's got lakes. He goes and gets fish. In fact, he grabbed this animal and he threw it into the water for his fish to come and eat it and stuff like that type of thing. And so it's a mad. He said Chris Eubank was saying as well, he was in the ring sparring this day, and he heard this fucking cockerel. He turned round and the fucking cockerel's walking about the gym as he's fucking sparring at the same time, you know. Can you imagine it? Cockerel's running about the fucking gym, he's just sparring.
Oh, amazing. Cockerel did better than JJ McDonough.
The cockle. Love the cockfight, did Roy. Marcus Bellinger has nominated Floyd. Floyd's getting a bit optimistic about this Gervonta Davis-Leo Santa Cruz fight. Hopefully we can get 1 million, even 2 million buys on pay-per-view for Santa Cruz against Davis, says Floyd. Clearly spelling and counting are not his two strong points.
Holy shit, 2 million buys for Santa Cruz. Holy fuck.
That reminds me of the day when fucking Santa Cruz demanded 4 million to fight Rigondo. Fucking hell.
Oh, man. I know I've said it before, but Santa Cruz is a nice guy, Andy, but he's one of the most boring guys I've ever interviewed in my life. I mean, like I said, he's a real nice fella, real genial, pleasant way about him, but you ask him a question and every answer was, well, I'm training so hard for this fight and I'm going to work hard with my team and, oh my God, come on, man, give me something, Leo.
I love that.
His best ever interview was on PBC on Fox when they had him, Abner Mares, and someone else, and they were asking him all, do they fight for legacy or money? They went around to the boys and they were all like, legacy. Legacy means so much to me. And they went to Santa Cruz and he was like, I fight for the money. Kind of shrugged his shoulders. Brilliant.
Good old Leo. Wouldn't be the same either, Andy, without a Demetrius Andrade nomination
no.
here. It's me again. Hashtag let's make it happen at Future of Boxing. Hashtag VADA, says Demetrius Andrade. Chris Mannix is getting on board. New jabs on DAZN. Should Wilder have fired Breland? Can we get Charlo against Andrade? What's next for Buatsi? Not going to dwell on that one. Can't give Mannix too much airtime.
Oh, he was blaming Charlo again there during the weekend. I mean, what a shill. Paid journalism. Move on.
And move on to the WBC. Nominated, I can't remember who nominated this. Apologies to you. I think it might have been Danny Robson, actually.
It was Danny Robson.
Happy birthday, Hitman Hatton.
Yeah.
And then they've superimposed the WBC title over his waist, even though he never actually won one. That's Mauricio getting stuck in on that one again. Shannon Courtney. Things are about to get very exciting, says Shannon. John Joseph McCormick says, you're sending me nudes. From British Boxing Blog. There for that character. Eggy Phil has nominated McLovin. A lot of crimes from McLovin there. I'm going to have to move on. Too many to mention. Andy, this is from you. Johnny Clash 1, 30th century man. Bellew just called Joshua the fastest combination punching heavyweight since Mike Tyson. I mean, where do you even start with Bellew? I mean, the first thing I'll say about him is this.
Who's Tony Bellew beat? Who's world class Rocky? Who has he beat?
No more said. Look, Joshua's got decent combination punching, decent speed, but Mike Tyson used to absolutely fucking evaporate people with his combination punching, and Josh was nowhere near on that level of combination speed and punching power, I would say, anyway. Fucking hell.
Oh dear. Dillian White, another one from you, Andy. Dillian White has slammed Idiot Wilder for sacking trainer Mark Breland.
The irony is lost on that man. Honestly, Chris, get yourself back to Mark Tibbs pronto.
Get back to Tibbs.
Was it Tibbs? It was Tibbs he was training.
Yeah, it was Tibbs.
Get fucking idiot, man. Just on the Breland situation, that is wrong, man. I mean, listen, you need guys like that. No yes men like JD's. Breland, we said it as well. When you see blood coming out of fighters' ear, you got to be thinking, fucking, what has he got a burst eardrum, or is that something else? You know, and at the end of the day, Breland's been there, seen it and done it at all levels. And he shouldn't be having to apologise to anybody for what he did. And to hear about him, you know, I don't know if it was confirmed, but to hear about him getting kicked out the dressing room in tears, begging to get back in and stuff like that, that's just fucking wrong. Because there's someone in that corner who cared about his fighter, who did the right thing. Wilder wanted a body in his record. He didn't think it was wanting to be his own fucking body anyway, put it that way.
Absolutely. It's disgusting the way Mark Breland has been treated. Dillian White needs to recognise. Another one from you, Andy. Ivan Redcatch. It's like a poorly Conor McGregor situation, this, isn't it? My target. I'm visualise every day about this boy, how I will beat him at Adrian Broner. Redcatch is desperate for that smoke. He's
also been a wee bit racist there with putting this boy in there. I mean, Redcatch likes to wear the Mexican wall.
He loves a bit of racism, doesn't he, Redcatch?
Remember, he had the Mexican wall on his trunks and got iced off a Mexican. Remember, That was fucking brilliant. Broner, you know I hate Broner. Broner would light his ass up like a Christmas tree. Broner would kill him.
Oh, he would. Old AB. David Almond, 86, is nominating Matchroom Boxing. They're doing another on this day. On this day in 2018, how can you forget? How can you forget where you all were when Reshat Mati secured the KO on his pro debut in Chicago at DAZN, next out on November the 7th, Haney Gamboa. Do you remember that, Andy? Reshat Mati, 2018? I mean, fuck me. It's embedded in the memory. How could you forget?
Who is that person?
He got a KO on his debut anyway on this day. I think they're abusing the on this day privilege. Talk about abusing privileges. What about this one? Frankie Gavin has got himself a little post-career pastime. Learn to box and get in shape, says Frankie. 1-to-1 and
he's out of there, is he?
1-to-1 and small group training now available from Frankie Gavin, former world champion fitness professional.
Oh, dearie me. I love that comment for Curly Watts. Fury should get Breland in his corner. Great move. Yeah, I agree with that. But like Ward trying to get John David Jackson out of Kovalev's corner into his before the rematch, that would be really a mindfuck. But Frankie Gavin, learn to box, get in shape. As he walks in like the Michelin man.
You'd be turned up, you'd be like looking for him. paying the money and all to him. Like, yeah, where's your man that trains us how to fight? No, I'm him. What? Give me that money back, fool. Let us fucking pay for this.
Fun time, Frankie, on the kebabs.
Fitness professional, world boxing champion, British champion, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, GB Olympic team, fitness professional. Okay.
In bare knuckle boxing now. Smido, not on tonight. We love you. Sam
Bitch
Jones.
tits.
Yeah,
Bitch tits.
this guy Smido. Yeah, Smido was putting up some topless photos earlier. Sam Jones called it the Cobra Hunter 92. It was in response to the Josh Warrington, Carl Frampton, the video of the crowd was going around. Cobra Hunter got stuck in. Only at matchroom boxing shows do you get crowds like this. Frank Warren shows are shit. Sam Jones rightly said this was Frampton versus Warrington on a Frank Warren show. Smido nominated him for that one. Also, Zeconomics has nominated David Hay for Bellew of the Week for claiming Nathan Gorman should fight Dave Allen next because they are the same weight. And it would be a 50-50 fight. We can hold off no longer. We've got a few decent Bellew of the Weeks coming in, but this could take the cake. This isn't maybe a Bellew of the year.
Can we leave
Before
that
we do
off?
so, Andy, anything you want to add in?
Yeah, I was going to say you should get everybody else's prediction and nominations before you get this one, but I'll go for the IBO falling for the fake Eddie Hearn account.
Oh, yes.
It came out Leicester saying Joshua Pulev was going to be 40 quid pay-per-view, and the IBO came back and says 63 days out, IBO world champion Anthony Joshua back in action December 12th against Kubrat Pulev, so they fell for that one. Bellew, we'll leave Bunsey. I mentioned the Hitman as well. Ebony Bridges. In the last 24 hours, Ebony Bridges has been announced to fight for a world title. We have had comparing with Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, Conor McGregor, and told she has adopted a British-like Lennox Lewis, even though he was British. Is this Ebony Bridges and that as well? You know, some woman. Obviously, who was that woman during the week? There was tweeting me about the situation. I need to sell my knickers and show my tits and stuff like that. But anyway, I forget her name. She's from Singapore, right? And I'm like, she's nobody knows who I am. I'm like, so I'm googling her. I'm trying to find out where's her box rec. I found her Facebook page, but I can't get the box rec. So I couldn't find out what her real name was. I actually had to get somebody to say, what's your real name? What did I know who you are?
Definitely criteria for a world title in women's boxing.
Yeah,
they don't have a box rec.
Yeah. Get your tits out, but no, she's like 3-4-0, that Singapore girl. And she's complaining she's not getting a world title fight. Well, just wait here, and the phone will ring in next week. You'll get a world title fight next week, probably.
I knew about called Bridges actually before. She had an STD. They used to call her Burning Bridges.
Can she even fight? Has anyone seen Ebony Bridges fighting?
Oh, she has.
She's beating up housewives, isn't she?
Oh, mate, she's crap.
That's what I thought, yeah.
She's literally fighting.
They should have compared her to Jake LaMotta then.
Ozzy, only one question for you, mate. Would you?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
My man. I bet it was you who bought the knickers off her, eh?
It was the socks she was selling, wasn't it?
Eddie Hearn and all.
I think it was you. You'll be all over that Brazilian's bra from next.
I'll tell you exactly who was. I'll tell you exactly who was buying the socks.
I love
Bean! Would have been, could have been, should have been, never been. Baked bean, creepy bean, beanie, Rumpelstiltskin. We're on to you.
There's no holding back now. Like we're on the final furlong.
Bean gets one surely for his. We can't put everything on. You know, we can't put everything on. We can put on Logan Paul and we can put on Shannon Courtney and fucking Rachel Ball, but we're not putting on Lomachenko, Lopez. What's wrong with you, greedy maniacs? Can't have it all.
Yeah, you're getting Pulev against Joshua. What are you moaning about? Fucking Bean.
Any from you, Ozzy? Any nominations?
No, mate, no.
Nothing from Ozzy. Anything from you, Roberto?
Ozzy had one for Patrick Mahomes there, actually. He just told me.
Who?
Patrick
I don't
Mahomes.
put salt in the wounds anymore, do I? You can stew on that Raiders defeat tonight.
No, I've nothing, Steve. I'm just looking forward to the fucking coup de grace here.
Yes. Oh, what, this could be a while, baby. This could take the...
I have quite a few here, so
let's go, Steve.
Let us proceed then. First of all, most of you will have seen the front runner.
And we are all set very shortly now for our top of the bill here tonight at the BT Sports studio. It is for the famous and historic British middleweight title. And before we get to talk about our main fight here, David, I think it is perhaps appropriate tonight that we just pause to mark Black History Month, most of all. And we discussed it today, and we thought it was actually right that we acknowledge that properly, and there's nobody better placed on our team to do that than Steve Bunt. So over to you for a moment, Steve.
Shout out to Tom Craze for putting that video out there.
Yes.
Tom, I don't know if you're listening, mate, but
every one of us out there, you know, as a defense, we know.
Got a bit of feedback there, though. But shout out to Tom Craze and that for tweeting that out, who actually got a response and a question from the one and only LL Cool J. So, aye, LL Cool J's you've been on the task as well. He's like, what the fuck?
It's even pulled curtain. The greatest thing about it was, Rob, I thought, Dempsey, he's been leading up to this moment. You know, we mentioned him last week. Someone dug out the Eubank Tyson rape clip. Dempsey was gathering momentum. He was due a moment like this, Rob.
Oh yeah, this is props to the listener that dug that out, by the way. Fair play to you. Oh man, it's bizarre. Like, it's fucking bizarre. And David makes it worse than David Hayes on the panel, and he's like, what?
I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to go.
He was going to David Hay. Yeah. Oh,
surely he's going to go to David Hay.
That's like sitting on the fucking panel. I don't know. Like, what is that like? That's like sitting on the fucking panel with fucking Barry McGuigan and fucking
Nick Griffin.
Andy Lee on Patrick's Day and going, no better person to comment on Irish fighters than Jim Watt. You know, it's fucking mental. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on there. Like, amazing. Like that. I got that like in tons of WhatsApps today, like that are not box related, like lads in WhatsApp groups. Like, it completely took fire. Like, amazing. He's back in the gym as well, isn't he, Bunsey? Looking good. Oh no, that's Smitho.
I think it was a clumsy handover, really, from Dempsey more than any malicious. I mean, the fact that you've got Bunsey involved made it even better, though, because, you know, he's got previous form, hasn't he, with the Jade Goody thing, the Alejandro Gonzalez getting murdered skit. You've got David Hayes sitting there looking nonplussed. It was just a classic comedy moment, and it wasn't even Bunsey's finest error, Andy, because let me show you, Bunsey's had better moments than that.
Ukraine, you know.
You think you're not bothered? You're going to take us?
But I had the two brothers got a restaurant there. I was going to go eat in their restaurant.
What, a couple of African guys or just a couple of black Britons?
No, the Klitschko brothers got a restaurant.
Oh, the Klitschko brothers. I thought you meant two brothers.
No.
Oh, the Klitschko brothers got a restaurant.
Yeah, they got a big restaurant there, apparently, so I'm going to have a steak there.
I've never seen that before. Unbelievable. Oh, a couple of for fuck's sake.
Oh, swear. Listen, I say to you, Elliot, Bunce is the only person you could put into a conversation and he could talk about anything. But it was, as you say, it was a poor handover, actually, because Bunce did give. I went back and listened to it. Bunce did give a good response as such, but surely the handover should have went like along these lines. If you Dempsey, it's Black History Month, and there's no better person to talk about the history of black fighters for middleweight championship honours than Steve Bunce, and then that would have been it, something along those lines at least. But just fuck it. I was honestly, Rob, I'm sure a few people have said it to me as well on Twitter. And that they were like, "Okay, David Hayes going to come in here to talk now," and then it's Bunce. I'm like, fucking Jesus. And I actually missed what Bunce said because I was pissing myself laughing at that point. I just had to go back and listen to what Bunce actually said. And he actually did pretty well, actually, to be honest with you. But, fucking Dempsey, man.
Dempsey and Bunce. The thing is, Andy, that's not even Bunce's finest moment. Maybe people might not have seen the Jade Goody incident, so let's just remind them of that right now, shall we?
I tell you what, I was just going to point out, you've been nominated for become the British Ambassador of Fighting Sports, and we might as well take today just to remind everyone we're getting closer. We've been nominated for a big award this year.
Come on, son. Where's the graphic? Where's that graphic when I need it? There we go. Who's the odd man out? Is it me, or the true Paris Hilton, or that woman at the top? looks like a wig stuck on Jade Goody's head. There was it at the end when she was having
can't make any
treatment?
jokes about
No, it's
it,
not a joke. I'm just saying. I wonder if that was a wig stuck on at the end. I don't like it. That doesn't suit her. And then the woman who's next to me on my right, the screen's left. I don't even know who she is.
Miranda Cosgrove. She is iCarly of Nickelodeon fame.
Well, she may be iCarly. Anyway, the four of us are up for an award, Broadcast News Award, on June 18th. At the Hilton Hotel in central London. Tickets are 275 quid.
You buy mine?
No, I'm not buying yours. So we're going along to that, and the Jade show actually, which was the last few weeks of her life. I've got to be honest with you, and I'm not joking. I'm not saying it was on Living, a channel I didn't even know existed. It was quite good. I've got to be honest with you. It was because it was suddenly there was no hype. It was just this woman slowly dying in front of the cameras, which I found quite entertaining, and it was very good because she was dead and it was honest, it was truthful. As for that Paris Hilton thing, I swear, Andy, if we lose out, I tell you what, if Jade loses out to Paris Hilton and we lose out to Paris Hilton, I'll be sick as a parrot. And iCarly can come again, man. Jade can't. You know what I'm saying?
I've completely lost any track of what you're saying.
Yeah, I have as well.
I will add, I thought the Jade program was fantastic, but for completely different reasons. I thought it was very heart-rendering stuff. But
it was heart-rendering
plenty
stuff.
still to come here on the Boxing Hours. We hope to speak to promoter Callis Allen.
I'd never seen that, man. I had never seen that. I swear to God, I've
never seen that.
Was it a wig? Was it a wig on her head? I found it quite entertaining.
Wig on the head. That's nothing. When he goes, I found it entertaining that we saw a woman dying on camera. We got to see her last few moments dying on camera, and that was really entertaining. And then to finish it off, Amanda can come again, but Jade can't. She's dead.
That's about 10, 15 years ago, but before the virtual signals got involved.
That was about 12 years ago. That was Andy. That was because Jade's been dead a long time.
Satana days.
For those people who don't know, by the way, maybe younger listeners, Jade was like a reality TV star, wasn't she? Who got
Big Brother
cancer, and then
Oh man! And then
she was the one that sat naked with her tits out and put her full fist in her mouth. By the way, can you imagine her taking the cock and balls at the same time? Jesus, Bunsey would be having a good time at that one.
Bunsey was channeling his inner Brian King there, I think. Those were the Satanta days, Rob.
Oh, you get away with murder then, and he said, and your man's like, we can't make jokes about that, Steve. He's like, I'm not making jokes about it, but that, I don't like that wig on her head. I'm like, all right, man, fuck it.
I think it's with Bunsey, right? I mean, I listen to time to time BBC 5 Live and that. And sometimes Bunce goes off. I think Bunce done really well last night because he brought up an important fact about Black History Month is that Dick Turpin, Randy's brother, actually had to get the board to withdraw the colour line from the fight for the British title. That's true. Me and Steve covered it back for the Turpin-Robinson fight on PFTP. Back, I think it was 50-51, I think it was and stuff. And he's spot on with what he's saying. But sometimes when you hear Bunce talk, he's like, what are you talking about? Just shut up. I was listening to an interview Chantal Cameron. I'm like, Bunsey, what the fuck are you talking about? Just shut up. Sometimes he just goes off on complete tangents. You're like, what was the question again he was asked? And he's just like fucking talking about some stuff. And he goes that way he fucking kind of talks and that. But Bunce, fair play to him last night for kind of like pulling through that. He did really well. But fucking Dempsey, man.
It was like his Mark Kriegel moment. I know the point Dempsey was clumsy because Bunsey's a historian. He doesn't know his stuff. People forget after Satanta finished, a lot of people liked Bunsey. He was a character. There was a big Bring Back Bunsey campaign. He had these shows over. I went to one in Belfast with Paddy Cronin put it on and Stuart Longcount and all the secondsout.com crew. And I have to give Bunsey his credit, man. He had me on his radio show, BBC Radio London, and that he has been good in the past. Recently, he's been a bit of a miserable old bastard. But I'm not really doing this just to shame him or anything. It's just fair game, really, Bunsey. No big.
It's just funny. Listen, nothing against Bunce. As Padgett says in the chat, and that Bunce does get a bit annoying when he gets a high pitched voice about him and stuff. But other than that, look, he knows his boxing, which is fine enough. But and he's part of the fabric, I suppose, in that as well. He's funny at times. He goes off and stuff and that as well. But I just thought the way he was kind of set up there and that it was set up for David Hay. Look, would that not been better for coming for someone like Ron McIntosh, for example? Someone who is a black presenter who has been awarded awards for his work within the journalism area, and I thought it'd been an ideal opportunity to bring in like say a guy like that. But then again, Buncey's been about boxing now. It's his game since his early. He boxed at the Fitzroy Lodge, I'm sure, or it was at West Ham. I'm not sure, but Buncey knows his boxing. He knows the black fighters and stuff, and he broke it down. I think if Robinson had beat Williams there last night, he'd have been the 10th. I'm sure it'd be the 10th black British fighter to win the British title, actually. And that's way back for the day since 1950 when Dick Turpin broke the colour barrier. So
I've one for you on Dick Turpin, by the way. When I was in school, I was doing past history because I was a lazy bastard, and then about 2 days before the exam, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do honours, like. And I went in, but to do the honours paper, you had to have an essay done on apparently European history, and I had fucking nothing, like, for that. So I was like, I'll just do the Dick Turpin story. Like, if we do something boxing, I'll do the Dick Turpin story. So I did the fucking essay, 6 paragraphs or whatever, referenced all the boxing books that we now owned, and I ended up getting a B in honours history, taking it the night before.
B for brilliant, Rob. Well done.
Yeah, it's better than the fucking what I was getting, I'll tell you that.
See? Who knows what that could have stood for?
Oh, man. Tell you right. I know, sorry, I know I'm going off on one, but it's fucking hilarious. Around that time, there was a lad that lived down the road from me, like, and he used to study, like, he'd stay up all night studying. I was never fucking studying, man. I used to do enough to get by, like, so I'd be walking home from school with this guy, and he'd be like, listen, I have these fucking tablets, like, you take them, and you stay up all night, like. I was like, what are they? Like, he's like, they're caffeine tablets. I was like, all right, sure, give me one. So he gave me one. I put it in my top pocket. I never fucking thought any more about it. Like, put it on my locker or whatever. Fuck, about 6 months later, like, I'm working and everything. I come home to the gaff, like, my ma opens the door and she's like, now just tell me the truth. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, you've been doing them. And I was like, what? And she pulls out the tablet and she goes, dead straight face, you've been taking them C's. I was like, well, fucking call the cops, man. Get the SWAT team in here.
What was it, a Pro Plus or something?
Oh, fucking caffeine tablet or something. I haven't a clue, man. Yeah, a long time ago. Fuck me.
My mum
along with Paul Dempsey there, Andy. Go ahead.
My mum used to do that. She seen I was like going out shagging for the first time. Used to put Johnny's in my pocket and stuff. And I remember coming home this day. My mum's doing the washing, and she says, "Look, we just jumped out your pocket." I says, "What do you mean jumped out my pocket? You've always been fucking fishing for that." So she's like, "Ah," she says, he says, "You've been hanging about with the Protestants again, fucking weird condoms."
That's like my man. She never put condoms in my pocket. She used to just throw holy water on me going out the door. That's fucking good. That was doing me. Fucking hell. No good if you're running up against burning bridges. That one.
And we return to Burning Bridges. Yes, episode 394, Bellew of the Week. It's right up there, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's all going to be Dempsey. Right up there, Andy, with the greats. I think Devon Alexander, Adam Smith and the bomber tattooed on his back. Up there with Yusuf Mack, Ricky Hatton, Sex Slave and Derek Chisora going in on Jarrell Miller. It's got to be Dempsey this week, hasn't it?
Dempsey, without doubt, mate. Listen, I think everybody knew it was sewn up. I think the whole Twitter sphere, boxing sphere were like, what the actual fuck have you just done here? It was just a poor handover, that's all it was, but it would have been better worded than that. Listen, there's nobody better to talk about than a historian like Buncey. And then Buncey says that he did a fantastic job, actually, doing what he mentioned and that, but fucking the setup was just, that's what it was, a poor setup.
The link, unbelievable.
Dempsey for you, was he?
Yeah.
Rapping Rob Kelly, could it be anyone other than Paul Dempsey?
No, it's got to be Dempsey. I tell you, Bellew would have ran him close this week with some of the shit that he was coming out with from the Matchroom playbook, but he's won it enough times, and this is a definitive moment. I mean, who better to win a Bellew of the Week in Black History Month than Paul Dempsey?